Hello, welcome to Steven Speak. Thank you for joining me again. Today's episode is going to be about something that's happened to me recently, musically, finally, and I managed to just achieve it just about prior to turning 40. Stick with me and I'll explain all in a moment. Welcome to Steven Speak the podcast. Unscripted prattle on everything and nothing. Thank you very much for joining me on this on the podcast. I don't know what I was going to say then. Grab yourselves a brew, whatever your poison is. I don't care what it is, as long as it's not poison. Don't kill yourself. Yeah, and sit back and listen to me prattle on about the subject today, which is me joining a band. So a little mysterious intro from me today. Yeah, so I joined a band. How weird. Well, I suppose it's not weird. I think I've talked about before how I'm a little bit musical. Probably could be about a million times better than I actually am. Because I never practice, got a room full of instruments that I just stare at half the time and just mess around on occasionally. And really should invest a lot of time, and I still need to do that. And I really need to do that. And every time I sort of kind of get organised, something happens that kind of puts me back. You all know my brain's a bit weird, and I can't cope with things sometimes. So, enough of the excuses. Basically, I think I've mentioned on the show that I did like a soundscape for a local charity museum heritage centre in Crewe. They wanted a sound produced, so I did that using my talent, and it went down really well. And the guy that was supplying the PA system, excuse me, let me just adjust my microphone. Not done this in a while. Yeah. There was a guy that was providing like the PA system because I was literally just providing the sound. And yeah, he was a lovely chap called Dave, and we were chatting away. And he just mentioned that he used to be a DJ and stuff like this. So shout out to Dave, hello Dave, if you listen to this. And yeah, he just basically mentioned that he was thinking about starting a podcast as well, and he used to be a DJ, and he was looking for something to kind of get back into and get back on track and just occupy his time a little bit, and something he could do from home as well, rather than doing his DJing, because he said he was getting a bit old for that. So I'm not going to disclose Dave's age, but he was older than I expected him to be, and he's a fantastic chap, and he looks brilliant, and he's done a few things. He used to be a teacher, and yeah, he's become a bit of a friend to me, and he mentioned basically he used to be in a band as well, and that he was trying to kind of get it going again. And I mentioned, it's like something I've never been in kind of thing. And I said that I was a bit musical and could play a bit of guitar and play a bit of piano and sing a little bit. And he was like, "Oh, well, we kind of need a singer, and like a bit of keyboard and stuff would be cool." And I was like, "Yeah." So we got to chatting, and then we met up for a coffee just to discuss podcasting stuff. To be honest, he was kind of interested in like how I got started, and him trying to start his. So we basically got chatting on that, and he basically had mentioned to a couple of the old band members that he wanted to kind of start up again and do a bit of practicing. And yeah, before I knew it, it was like, yeah, this is kind of happening. Yeah, so I'm the lead singer of a band, and we had our first practice just before I turned 40. So technically, that's one off the bucket list before 40. So, and at the moment, I think it's just like kind of a practice. I don't think we're looking at getting any gigs or anything. If we do, it'll be like, open mic nights and stuff like that. Just if we play to public. But yeah, we don't sound too bad, to be honest. We've only had 2 practices so far. We had one this week, Wednesday just gone. And we're kind of meeting up like every month because a couple of the guys have retired, a couple of them still have jobs. So there's 6 of us all together, including myself. So we have a couple of guitarists. We have 3 guitarists actually, bass player and Dave that kind of introduced me to it all. He plays the drums, although I think he's looking kind of to retire his drum kit and maybe focus more on like just recording us and filming us and kind of maybe being a bit of a managerial role. But yeah, it's been good so far. It's been an interesting experience. I've never really been in, for all my like things that I've done in my life, like kind of like creatively and musically and my acting and stuff like that when I was younger. I say that as if I was on the West End or something, which I wasn't. But I did like school productions. I was always in the band. I was always in clubs and stuff like that. And I auditioned for a West End musical. I didn't get a call back, and I don't think that was because I wouldn't have been any good. It's just that the kids there were just something else. They were just on another level of, and I wouldn't talented. Yes, they had talent, I would say, but I wouldn't have said no. Like a great, apart from dancing, not a great deal more than I had at the time. I think I could sing pretty well at the time, and I was really confident with acting, and I think I was all right. I think I was pretty good. But they had the edge on me for dancing. Like they'd all been dance schools and stuff like this. But they were just so confident. So I think that's always been my problem with stuff like this, is having that confidence to kind of think that I'm any good. But when I auditioned for West End, like there was one lad who was queuing up for me, and he actually called a newspaper to come and interview him, and they did, which is bonkers to me. I was thinking, what? Like, who are you? I mean, I don't know if there was anyone like reasonably famous. I didn't recognize him, so I don't know if he'd already been in a West End production and got good reviews, or he was an up and coming actor. I couldn't even tell you. Like, but he literally phoned the Daily Mirror, and some guy came out and took pictures of him, and he was posing while he was queuing up because there was hundreds of kids. I'll just say that the play was Bugsy Malone. Yeah, and the audition was very. Excuse me. Oh, excuse me, that was very rude of me yawning. Boring myself, apparently. Yeah, it was just like you had to do like a bit of a like scripted bit. Then you had to do like a dance bit, and it was the dance bit I was no good at because like it was very much like it's very much like the scene from Friends where Joey is taking a dance class and he's lying on his CV. And the guy literally says, "Oh, can you teach the class? I've got to go and do something." And he goes, "Oh yeah, no problem." And the guy literally goes, "Right, it's really simple. It's just this." And he shows them the dance routine, and he goes, "Have you got it?" And like Joey's like, "Oh yeah, of course I have." I was Joey. They literally showed the class like once or twice and went, "This is the dance routine. Bang, 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 bang." And it was quite complex. For me, it wasn't, at least anyway. And then they put the music on and I'm like, right, let's go through it. And I was just like, what? And there was probably like 10 or 12 of us they called through for the dance bits. They called no more than 15 at a time. It was probably like 10, 12 at a time to do it. So they could obviously, and we had to wear a number, and then you got sent out, and then some people got called back in. So I got called back in, which I thought was a good thing. But in hindsight, I'm guessing it was a bad thing because they were probably calling the worst of the bunch in to try and wean out the really bad people. So I presume that was me. But I just couldn't get it, and I was very, very self-conscious of the dancing. I've gone off on a tangent here. But anyway, it kind of put me off like ever like auditioning for a band or anything because I've always wanted to be in a band. And even though I kind of play an instrument, I've never really kind of felt like I would want to play an instrument in a band. I've always felt like being the front man would be the thing for me, the singer, and because I'm very, when I get going, I'm very, I feel like I'm very dramatic and I can hold people's attention. It's not easy for me to say stuff like that. It makes me cringe. But people have said to me like, I'm a good talker and good at presenting, and when I've done karaoke and stuff, like I've been able to get the crowd going. No, karaoke's different because everyone's normally leathered. Well, everyone's leathered at rock bands concerts, I suppose. Anyway, but yeah, they've presented this opportunity, and I've kind of gone into it, and I'm still really nervous as hell. I'm really nervous about learning words. Learning the words to the songs is kind of the worst thing at the moment because we're doing quite a few covers. Well, we're doing all covers. Not why I say that, but there's probably like 90% of them that I know well, and then there's a few songs that are like I know them, but I don't know them really well. Essentially like album tracks. So you know the popular release ones, but you've heard the album, but not listened to these as much, kind of thing. So learning the lyrics, and it's also learning how to sing them as well. Just getting that kind of what level do you start at? What tone am I going to use? And trying not. I'm really trying not to mimic the bands and stuff. I'm trying to like put my own twist on it, and that's quite difficult actually. I'm trying to find my voice, I think is what I'm saying. I've been singing for years, saying karaoke's and just in the shower, and to myself when I've been recording myself at home, when I've been writing songs and stuff. So I kind of know what I sound like, but it's different when you're singing someone else's song. I think when you write your own song, you sing it how you want it sung. When you sing someone else's song, you have this like interpretation in your own brain. So yeah, that's been quite difficult so far. Yeah, but back at school, and I played with some bands. There was a couple of bands in school, and I sang a couple of times with them when they needed a singer. Because I think one of the guys used to do the singing, but for certain songs, like he asked me to come in. So like end of year assemblies and stuff. So I sang with them a couple of times, and then the school band and stuff, which I don't really count because it's like school band. But this other band were like they'd formed this band for themselves, like guitars, drums, etc., and bass guitar and stuff, and that was pretty cool. That was pretty cool to be asked. But yeah, I've seen signs up and stuff. Like there used to be a club in Crewe called the Limelight, and they used to have signs up all the time saying like singer wanted, blah blah blah. And I was thinking, I could do that. People have told me I've got an alright voice. Could I do that? And at the time, I think I definitely could. I have noticed that my voice is not as good as it used to be. Even my perception of my own voice, which I don't have a very strong opinion of, has faltered. I think it's just laziness. I think it's. I recorded the session Wednesday, and with my digital stereo recorder. If anyone's interested, it's on the website. It's a Tascam DR40X. It's like a stereo recorder, really good quality. Not a sponsor, just like Tascam stuff, and it was a good price at the time. And yeah, it sounded alright. There was a few bum notes from me. I think there was a couple of times where I didn't know tonally where to go, whether I should start up high, low, and then I changed as soon as I started singing. I changed my mind immediately and had to swap my kind of position. But yeah, I think in general, I think we sound good. Like, consider it's like the second practice. Like, lost a bit of time a couple of times. A couple of bum notes from some of the guitars sometimes. I think what it was. I think we were playing one song in a different key. And one of the guitarists was playing one. We'd gone and looked up the tabs, and I think someone was playing one key. And we had to stop one song and go like, "Hang on, what key are you playing it in?" But yeah, probably something we should have sorted out before we actually started playing, really. But we just was like, "Oh, well, we'll just start jamming." But it's been good. It's been good. So I'll name some of the songs we've been playing. Actually, like, let me just get my phone because I'll forget them. And the ones we've been looking at so far is I've got on my phone a little playlist because when I've been driving around in the car. I don't know why I'm whispering. When I've been driving around in the car, I've been putting the playlist on and like singing to the long term in the car. But I really do need to learn the lyrics. It's like one of the things I can't stand on stage and stand with. I don't really want to stand and have my iPad there. And I might do for backup. I might back up, but I don't want to have to like just read off it because it's really obvious, and you shouldn't have to do that. So, we've got Hootchie Coochie Man by the Jeff Healy Band, and that's one of the songs that I'd heard but didn't really know too well. Hey Joe by the Jimi Hendrix Experience. Again, knew that song, probably not really sung it before, to be honest. Same with Hootchie Coochie Man. Sunshine of Your Love by Cream. Yep, everyone knows that. Knocking on Heaven's Door by Bob Dylan, but we do like a reggae one, which is pretty cool. Reggae version of it. Can't Get Enough by Bad Company. I Saw Her Standing There by the Beatles, which I cannot get in my brain. I can sing along to it, but when it's me singing, I fuck it up every time, which is really, really annoying. Melissa by the Allman Brothers. Again, that's the one that I think we thought we were all playing different versions of. And we added these this week: Rough Boy by ZZ Top and Cocaine by Eric Clapton. And I think we're going to add another one. I can't remember what it's called. Let's see if we'll find it in the WhatsApp group. It is the Georgia Satellites, Keep Your Hands to Yourself. Which one of the guys played, and it seems quite funky. Quite a cool little tune. Like bluesy riffs and stuff in it. So yeah, should be quite interesting. So that's kind of music we're going for at the moment. And we also play Wicked Game actually as well. Chris Isaac's Wicked Games, game singular. God. Yeah. And I don't think I do a bad job at singing them, to be honest. If I'm honest with you, I think I'm pretty average at the moment. I think for some songs I sound better than others. I think I may be more relaxed with that style, maybe more relaxed with the lyrics, maybe more relaxed in general. I don't know. But yeah, I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it, and I'm pleased. I'm pleased that I can go out and just do a bit of creative stuff and not take it too seriously. It's been fun so far, and if we don't get a gig out of it, I'm not overly bothered, to be honest. It's just great hanging out with some guys that want to jam, and just to be able to sing some songs. And I really need to practice. Like it's forced me to practice a little bit, but still, I need to actually. I need to make this room accessible enough that I can practice without, having to like move stuff around. Which at the moment, to get like to my piano and stuff, I'm having to like move some stuff, and that's not helpful because that is literally a blocker to me. I'm like, oh, I can't do that because I have to move 3 things, and it's pathetic. And I know it's pathetic. You don't have to tell me this. My brain just can't cope. I'm a wreck. But yeah, it's nice to be in a band, and if we do a gig, then I will let you know, and I'll put it on social media so you can come and throw tomatoes at me, and maybe meet me in person. But no, I'm enjoying it at the moment, and it's something I've always fancied doing. So it's a big tick in the box for me to say that I'm in a band, and that sounds pretty cool in itself, doesn't it? Really. Yeah, that's kind of what I wanted to tell you about this week, and yeah, I don't know. Is it something that a lot of people have done? I feel like I suppose it depends what circles you're in, because there's probably like part of my friends group would be like, oh yeah, I've never done anything like that before. Probably part of them would be like, oh yeah, I've been in a band, or I've played guitar and I've done this and X, Y, Z, and done little bits. And there's a couple of people I know that have been in bands or are still in bands. So I suppose it just is the type of people you hang out with, I suppose, isn't it? As to like what their experience of it would be. But yeah, I'm just enjoying it. It's something to do at the moment, and it's giving me pleasure. And yeah, long may it continue. And if something comes of it, something comes of it. If it doesn't, then I'm having a nice time. And that is always good. And that's what you've got to focus on, I think, at the end of the day. And that's kind of like my ethos for the podcast, and me kind of starting my registering as a business for it, and like trying to maybe make it work for me. I'm kind of going into it with very open mind and fun in mind, rather than this could turn into something. And I think there's a fine balance between putting enough into it and to achieve something and just fucking around. But yeah, I'm hoping that it just carries on for now, and if we get a gig out of it, then happy days. If not, then we're just having a nice time, and that's cool. So that's me. That's the podcast this week. I hope you enjoyed that. Let me know if you've been in a band. Let me know if you are still in a band. What do you play? Do you need a singer? I don't mind being in 2 bands. I'm enjoying it that much, though. Like, it's always good to get experience, I think. And I do need to. If you got any techniques for my voice, you got any techniques to warm up, warm down, strengthen my voice. Every little helps. So yeah, thank you very much. Check out the website, stevenspeak.com. If you want to be on the show, you think you got something interesting to say, you are in a band, and you want to chat about it, contact me. And follow me on social media at Stephen Speak PC. And if you're super awesome and you love the podcast so much that you want to contribute, then you can now subscribe, and you can contribute to help me put these things out there for a bit less cost to myself. That would be awesome. Anyway, thank you very much, and I'll hear you. Well, I won't hear you. You'll hear me on the next episode of Stephen Speak. I'll speak to you soon. You've been listening to Stephen Speak the podcast. Thanks for listening to my unscripted prattle on everything and nothing. Visit stephenspeak.com for updates, information, and my blog. You can follow more updates on social media at Stephen Speak PC. Thanks very much, and I'll speak to you soon.